ladies and gents, welcome to the latest episode of the Haves and the Have-Nots. Season, 5 or 6, who cares? Episode 30. It's called The Block Man. The Block Man. So, as Wyatt was about to do something that he probably wouldn't regret as long as he got the drugs, that's when his father came in, Jim came in, and stopped all of this. And then Jim and Justin got into a tussle. It was a tussle, swinging. Jim was beating on. I said, Justin, come on now. You're a police officer. You should be able to manhandle Jim quickly. The lawyer is looking like, guys, cut it out. Wyatt is cackling, which I would have been too. And then I guess the person in charge came in and broke those two up. And Jim was just like, why don't you go and say what you were about to do to my son? Why don't you go and say what you were about to do to my son? I just looked at it as, Jim, let's think about this. Your story needs to be airtight because it's not going to work out too well if it isn't. Excuse me. It was funny to me. So now the lawyer leaves, Justin leaves, his boss leaves, and Jim's talking to Wyatt. And Wyatt's honest. I said, wow, you're honest at this juncture? Okay. Wyatt's told he'll be released out of jail. Wyatt's happy, so Wyatt's going to talk. Now this is when Wyatt acknowledges, yes, he was going to go and do whatever he needed to do to get the drugs that was in Justin's pocket. Because Jim was asking him questions regarding, what were you doing? Why were you about to possibly do what I think you were going to do, but you're my son? And so Jim made very clear. Jim's like, he doesn't care if Wyatt is actually gay or not because he's had his suspicions for a little while now. He just cares about, were you going to do that because of your addiction? And Wyatt's like, no, I'm not gay, but I am an addict. And so, yes, I was going to do that because of my addiction, which just breaks Jim's heart, even though Jim has aided in Wyatt becoming the person that he is today. And so Jim said he is going to get Wyatt out of jail. But first things first, he goes into the boss's office and talks to the boss and Justin. And Justin was trying to say, look, your son was trying to do something. I did nothing wrong. Sir, I did nothing wrong. But remember, Jim got Wyatt to acknowledge that, hey, Justin had had drugs on him, had heroin in his pocket. And after a 1 minute back and forth of, well, are you going to show us your pockets or not? Now, legally, Justin doesn't have to. He legally doesn't have to, but he can get suspended. So he was suspended. He was suspended because it's like, to shut this guy up and to prove your innocence, you're not willing to just do something as minor as that, even, So he storms out because he had the drugs in his pocket. And even if he didn't, I was waiting for him to go and say, oh, you thought I did something? Oh, you thought I did something? No, I didn't. I don't know where all this energy came from. Anyway, Jim is able to get his son out of there, and Wyatt was going to go somewhere else, even though I'm thinking, Wyatt, you are broke. You don't have any money. How are you supposed to get home? Jim said, you're coming in the car with me. Wyatt kept resisting. Jim said, look, I took over your apartment. You're an idiot, and you're an addict, and you lost your apartment, and you have nowhere else to go. So you're either going to get in the car with me, or you're going to go and live out on the streets, and those going to give you free drugs. Sorry, you're going to have to pay for that, buddy. So Wyatt gets in the car. Now, Candace has to think about how she can go and get her money back from her mother. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, especially with Hannah knowing what she knows. But Candace is on this whole trip of, well, I set things up in motion. Yes, I surely Bob did. And I would do it again because she took $8.8 million or $8.4 million from me. How much? Because at first she was talking to RK, was it RK? And RK was saying, wow, you're going to go and get, someone to do something to your mother again? Like, why would you go and do, you would harm her, you would beat her yourself. What is, really? Really? He was saying his mother was a drug addict, and even he at one point, I think, like, paid for her addiction or something ridiculous like that. But he was like, he still loves his mother. And once she said how much money it was, that's when he said, well, gonna have to murk her. I said, you two belong together. You two belong together. So now Candace has to figure out a plan B. How's she gonna get the money? He says, why don't you go and talk to your mother? Why don't you go and put in your big girl panties and talk to your mother? Talk to her. Why not? You have nothing else. No, really. You have nothing else. So then she decides, well, and he's going to go and do some like spying, snooping on Jeffrey because Veronica's going to help him out. Now remember, Jeffrey is technically Candace's one of her only friends, and her only friend really. And she's like, it's pretty messed up. And he said, I know, but you don't really care. I mean, look at what you're going to do to your mom, so why would you really care? And then RK was doing his usual, trying to sleep with Candace, and Candace wasn't having that. Now we see David is highly medicated, but he was able to turn around. And I said, Lord, please do not rest your back. Do not rest your back. But he just needs to move. Needs to get the circulation moving correctly again. The FBI is outside because they need to ask him a couple of questions. The officer gets in there, and David is honest because Jeffrey said that he thinks it's his mother who did it. David said, yeah, I think it's my wife. She's been slowly becoming cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And remember when the cops were called at his house. Remember, this is all documented. And yes, it was because she went and did something, and that wasn't the first time. She's done multiple things. So now they're going to do everything they can, but David doesn't have too much faith in that, only because he knows that Veronica is very crafty. She's very crafty and conniving. And that within itself, she's a lawyer. She's going to make sure there's not much evidence, but they're going to do it whatever they can, however they can. And that's that on that. Who says that? That's that on that. Now we're at Catherine's house because that's whose house it is. When Jim, Wyatt are there, Jim has bodyguards, babysitters for Wyatt, and they're both male. He's not stupid. And Wyatt sees his mother. I was like, oh, hey, I said, excuse me? Did you just call your mama a B? And he hates her. He's tired of her. And of course her feelings are hurt, but she has to pretend like she's stronger than that. So he gets sent off to his room, and they're just going to be watching him 24/7. Wyatt's broke, so they can't even pay him off. We don't have to worry about that. Now Catherine's trying to figure out, but Jim, we have other things to deal with. No, I don't care about him right now. She was willing to send him to jail. Do you really think she's happy to see him in her house? No. No. Jim, look at these pictures. These are of your whores. Well, actually, not all of them were whores, especially this one. She's helping out with a case. A case for what? A case on us. A case. That's all you need to know. Oh, okay. What about Hannah? What about getting back the money? Whose money? The inheritance. She'll give us the money. I want it now. She'll give us the money when she gets us the money. That's how that's going to be. Remember, Jim can't let him know what happened to Hannah. So she's trying to remain calm, cool, and copacetic. And Jim is not the boss. No matter how much he huffs and puffs, he's not the boss. Speaking of not being the boss, she gets a call from her boo-thang over at her hotel, who gave her the intel on the prostitution ring in the first place that Jim apparently also doesn't care about, because everyone's dealing with more important things. Everyone's dealing with trials and tribulations. Jeffrey gets home to his father's home, and I'm thinking, okay, there is a fire, so I'm looking to see continuity. How's the grass?
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
Look, how's the grass look? Okay, it looks kind of burnt. Oh, good. Good. You know we have to watch these things, especially with this show. So he's there, and we see that old dusty pickup truck, and Justin's in it. Justin's in it because, oh, well, I don't have my job right now. You need to go and talk to your friend White and make sure, I watched too much Jersey Shore. Make sure that he lets my boss know that nothing happened. That nothing happened. Jeffrey's looking at him like, now why do I need to go and tell my friend that you don't like to go and do something on your behalf? What did you do? And that's when he tells this partially fabricated story about how, well, Wyatt, I had him in the holding cell. Oh, just like me? Well, had him in the holding cell, but things took a turn. Things took a turn because he got on his knees and, did that thing that you like to do. I said, Jeffrey, you really... Because Jeffrey didn't even deny it. But Jeffrey said, no, I know you're lying. I believe the drug part. I believe that he wanted drugs from you, but I don't believe him getting on his knees to do so. That no. Him offering up service, no. I can't trust you. Go away. And then he goes and leaves. And I said, okay, Jeffrey, at least you're not completely useless. He goes in the house, and my favorite part of the episode occurs. I laughed for a solid minute. Jeffrey goes into the house. Veronica is sitting on the couch. Not only is she sitting on that couch, Jeffrey looked up. How Veronica get in the house? How does she have a key? Woo! Now, after that, we have her going and she does this monologue about how she loves this house. This house was supposed to be her and David's, but David made up this cockamamie story about how they can't have this house. They can't have this house because at the time, they needed to focus on other things. And so she wanted to go and buy the house, but the house was no longer for sale. And so she was so hurt because she would follow David's lead. For years and years into their marriage, she would just do whatever he wanted. Yes, she would yes, dear him. Yes, dear. Of course, dear. And she was over it. Her feelings were hurt. She felt used. She felt emotionally drained, taken advantage of. And then he went and cheated on her with, Maggie Day. And she's just like, the plight of a strong black woman. Why is it that black men can't seem to handle a strong black woman? And I said, Veronica, you're crazy. You're different. And that's when I'm so glad that Jeffrey said what he said. Jeffrey knows how I remember the names because I was tickled by what almost everyone did in this episode in some way, shape, or form. Jeffrey said, no, my father is a good man. You are a crazy bee. And I said, Jeffrey, watch out. Watch yourself now. Because this is your mother's crazy. Your mother crazy. Come on. But he tells her, what you need to realize is that you're having all these issues in life because you are crazy. Black men love a strong black woman. What black men have an issue with is a crazy, controlling bitch. I said, woo! Woo! So that's when, even though she was pissed, she had to change directions and said, because at one point she even said, well, I can't expect for you to understand, what a black man would think and feel because you're too busy letting other men be on top. Oh my gosh, this is too much. But she also noticed that, because she's nosy, so she noticed that Justin was there. She recognizes the truck and that he should be careful. She went and left, but we know her, so this isn't over. This isn't over by a long shot. Now Hannah, she's being loved and doted on by her man, and you can tell she's just happy to have him around. She needs to go and handle a couple of things, so she's going to leave, and he's going to be there. He's going to move things around so that he can be there for her. And she just has that look of, what did I do to deserve this? And it was like, you deserve the world. And then they start kissing, and she was like, or he tries to kiss her, and she's like, no, I can't do that until we're married. I said, kiss? And she was like, no, but you know what that leads to? And it was like, how does that just automatically lead to? And she said, well, it's been a while, so for me it would lead to. And I said, oh, Hannah, you want you some, don't you? Hannah, you want you some, don't you? Lord, and Betty's in the other room, so she knows oh yeah, they did kiss. She knows that she can't do much of any of that. So then, and she was just wondering, why is he so patient? He's patient because he's been through a lot. You just don't know the half of it, because they keep kissing again. And the doorbell rings. Candace comes along. And I was ready. I said, Benny, you better Benny, you better sleep, because I can't have you messing this up. We need true transparency. Derek goes outside to give Hannah and Candace some time. So then Candace comes in with this, hey, Mama, Mama, I'm sorry that man, he came there and he was looking for me. I owe him a lot of money. I owe him everything. I just need my money back. Mama, can you give me my money back? She said, drop the And wait a minute. How'd you know that man? How'd you know it was a man? How'd you know Hannah is over it? And that's when eventually Candace dropped it. And said, look, Hannah, give me my money. Oh, hey, devil. I was waiting for you at the door. I see you couldn't keep yourself away too long. Just like a true devil. Oh, what did I do to deserve this, devil? Oh, Lord, what did I do to deserve? I said, Hannah, we're going to stop with all of that. But we know how Candace is. Candace, she wants her money. And yes, she acknowledges, yes, I was the one who told him to come here to get the money. It's my money. No, it's the crier's money. And that's who I'm giving it to. So you're not going to give me my money? No, I'm not giving you someone else's money. And yes, I do love you. I don't want bad things to happen to you. But I will not steal, kill, or cheat, or lie for you. Because that's not the way. That is not the way. So, devil, why don't you go do whatever you need to do, because I'm going to do whatever I need to do. And the episode ends with Catherine going and making out with her boo. I said, oh, that's cute, because she came here. She went there and she was saying, wait a minute, why this information that you're giving me, it's nothing new. What is really going on here? So then that's when he starts kissing her. She starts kissing him. I said, look at Catherine get her young little chippy. Even though we know this isn't the first time. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Watch my reviews for Empire. Watch my review for Star, because those will be up between tonight and like 1, 2 a.m. this morning. Tomorrow morning. I did my Romie Reacts. So that's back. So I did that for the American Music Awards. I honestly don't feel like doing a separate recap video for that, but if I have some time, maybe. Definitely not tonight though. Oh yeah, American Horror Story. What else comes on? Greenleaf. Yeah, that was 1 week off, or 2 weeks off, or however long that was, but that wasn't me. That was the show. So my review for last week, because there was an episode last week, is on. Make sure you watch that. Make sure you just come back and support. Tell a friend. Thank you.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.